This is a mystery guitar. It looks like a copy of a Gibson. Is it an E335? Maybe it's an E334. I can never remember. I've done some research as far as I can. I found my teeth. I found a receipt in the case for this guitar saying it's a Epiphone Casino, but it isn't an Epiphone Casino because they've got a bridge that's attached to the back of the guitar. This one's come to me, and maybe when I take the pickups off I'll be able to find out more about it. There's no serial number, nothing. Nice little guitar. Got electric problems. None of the electrics are working except for one switch. And I searched inside the body with a camera and everything, and I can't find anything to do with it. But when I take those pickups off, maybe the pickups will give me a clue. It's late at night. I shouldn't be doing this late at night. It's got a couple of dings. Yeah, that's a ding. And I think there's another ding up there. Let me just see there. Yeah, can you see the ding? Right, okay. And there's a ding there that looks like it's a ding. What do you call it? Yeah, it's a hole, but it might be able to do something with those, but I don't know. Anyway, one of the interesting things that it makes me, it's a nice playing guitar, but it's the very, very high up on this side. But on the other side, it's completely flat down. Now, the guitar itself looks symmetrical, but I think the neck may be twisted. Another twisted neck, and they've done that. But I'm going to do some more. You see the way the one side of it's up high, and one side's down low. So it's quite possible that we've got a twisted neck here, but it plays well. And they were able to compensate with the pickups. But maybe it's not twisted. Maybe when I run my tests on it, I'll know better. Okay. So a little update on our guitar. I've done a bit of work on it, cleaned up the switches and got everything done, give it a bit of a polish. It's not quite finished yet. Took the pickups off to see what's underneath, to see if we can get a clue on what the make of this guitar is. And it says on that one, front, and it says on that one, bridge, and no numbers, nothing. So that's another mystery I think we're going to have to give up, and maybe somebody out there can tell me what it is. Also, we had one of the nuts which is very loose, and tuners, I should say, if I'm going to be precise. So I've had to take it apart and work on it. It's going to be a bit of a Heath Robinson job to get it back again. But it will work, but it won't be perfect. The nut had been replaced, but not very well. It was a tusk nut, a nice nut, but it had been super glued on, but it had broken off, and somebody who took off the old nut left marks. Also, the truss rod screws, you can see maybe there, maybe you can't see it. The truss rod screws were both broken off, and the little truss rod cover was glued on. We do have a problem with the neck. It's a minor problem because it's twisted. It's twisted low at this side, right, and it's twisted high at that side, but it's only twisted in the middle, which is unusual. This and this are relatively straight, but I haven't been able to get the truss rod. I haven't worked on the truss rod yet. But that's just a little update. All right, well, this is a pain. I should pay attention to myself. I always say never close up the truss rod cover until you've checked everything. The truss rod cover had been super glued on, so I managed to get it off. Adjusted truss rod with just a little bit of a bow in it, just enough that I like. Because whenever I first got it, it had a massive bow on it. Just to like this end was high, and this end and this end were okay, and the middle was not good at all, right? So I managed to get the truss rod cover off, cleaned it up. The screws were both broken because that's why they were super glued on. Those two heads are just sitting there. So what I did is I put a very fine roll of double-sided tape that they use for computers. It's this here. It's like putting computer screens back on. Pretty strong stuff, but not permanent. So I 2 strips of that on there and sealed that down and glued it all up. So now I went to set it up, and I discovered that there's something wrong with this guitar. Look how high that is. That's right up to the maximum. And it's maximum there, but it's still flat at the end. So I'm going to have to... What the problem is not so much the neck, right? But the neck, if you look at the body, look how twisted down the body is compared to the neck. If I put the neck straight with the camera, you can see the body's very, very twisted out of shape down that way to the neck. The neck's perfectly in line with that. Not the string, but the neck is perfectly in line, and then the body goes down like that too much. So really the neck would need a reset, but I'm not doing that on a hollow body guitar. That's a hell of a job. So what I'm going to have to do is do a compromise, and I don't like compromise, but you can't have that, and you can't, and it's still buzzing up at the top. So I'm going to have to bend the neck up again and get it back to the way it was, which was okay-ish, but it's far from perfect. But it's not an expensive guitar. Can't find out what it is, so it's not worth spending a pile of money getting neck resets on it and things like that there. But when I've done that, taken this cover off again and reset and adjusted the truss rod back to where it was, I'll come back to you. Ciao, bye, bye, bye. Never take the cover off. Never put the cover back on. It's playing okay now, but it's back to where it was. If you look there, there's far too much of a bow in the middle. It's playable, good at both ends, but you can see there's a bend in it like a bow. Now that's the only way I could get it in any form or shape or fashion to sit right at the end here. And even then it's still, well, it's not that high, but it's okay. It's playing all right now, but the only real cure for this is to take the neck off, and that ain't worth it. So I'll play a little tune now, let you hear the sound of it. It's actually quite a nice sounding guitar. All working now, volumes, switches. That's the back. Playing well. My playing's lousy. Actually, yes, there's a little buzz there, but it's the strings flying about up at the top. I'm going to hold the string. Goes away. There's vibration of the loose strings, which I'm going to chop off now. Might as well chop them off away now. And yeah, okay. Chop, chop, chop. still have to put the truss rod cover on again. No, that's it. Miss the garbage can and throw all those spikes all over the place so you can stand on them and spike yourself. Dope. Right, there you go. Okay, that's enough for this mystery guitar, compromise mystery guitar. It's all working well. It's just a pity about the neck and the body, but it's a good looking guitar. Can't figure out what make it is, but it's just the body's just a bit too bent downwards. All right, okay, ciao, bye, bye, bye.